I want to be very careful about how much I talk about Deva Oshana, because it can be disempowering for me, can be off-putting for others, can be counterproductive for Dave. Like it's a very complex, multi-layered and very nuanced question. But at the same time, that which I'm here to share and uncover and transmit and express is that which it corresponds exactly with, or very closely with, what Dave Oshana's doing in his neck of the woods, because I'm part of that too. So it's like I'm a bridge between what he's doing and the people that I'm communicating with, or at least in this particular space. In the thrift store, not. In the thrift store, I'm a different kind of bridge. We're all bridges. The possibility of every articulation, every expression for us as individuals, as relative individuals, is for the divine to embody more than it has embodied before, for our souls to become more embodied, more present, more incarnate, and for the whole of existence to become more of an embodiment, to become more ensouled, more enlivened, more animate. Little by little, the heat of the transmission of souls, as they are awoken, as they are thawed themselves by their internal heat, because the spirit is in everything, in the deepest part of matter. As these souls begin to thaw, then they resonate more heat, and that's what human beings are. We're heaters. We're human heaters in the purely physical sense. We're space keepers. I mean, we take up space and we emanate heat. And so little by little, this world, this frozen world, is thawing out. In the thrift store, I work with people who are clearly more frozen than I am, more traumatized, darker, more lost, more confused. And it's my responsibility and my delight, really, if I can warm to it, to pass on some of the heat, to pass on some of the light, to pass on some of the healing that I've received from others to them, and that increases my own capacity to receive more. The more functional I become, the more I can help others, the more I can be helped. The more I can receive the transmission, the more I can transmit it, the more I can receive it at deeper parts of myself. So anyway, so all that was a preamble. Was I wanted to read this thing that Dave wrote. I think I am going to. I'm going to at least read a bit of it, the 5th of February. You may have noticed from recent emails and online events that I'm on a quest to deliver the purest enlightenment transmission. This means refining everything that I do and offer down to the essentials. That involves getting rid of unnecessary things. I'm sure you already understand that many unusual and beneficial phenomena happen around me, that I can endlessly talk about and explore them, as well as offer numerous teachings, practices, and therapeutic interactions. However, life is too short and too full of things and activities to permit the best of the best to be clearly discerned. Hence, the truly obvious must be made conspicuously obvious. This is not to be done by talking about it, because that creates more busyness, but by simply delivering the goods without explanatory noises. This was how it was when I first started sharing enlightenment, because I didn't have much to say and I wasn't going to be drawn into useless or unhelpful communication, since that is how the ego procrastinates and delays the inevitable awakening. I have appreciated all of the hints and comments that you have given to me in recent requests for feedback, and indeed during all of the time that we have known each other. Your feedback has allowed me to make some realizations about how best to share enlightenment. I have discovered rather late in life, because I have always been able to give a lot, that less is more. Ironically, when I first started sharing enlightenment, my method was strikingly simple because I had no content. However, helpful web designers and marketing advisors told me that content is king, yet now I have verified that numerous marketing rules do not apply to what I share. All throughout my enlightenment sharing years, my apparent resistance to change my methods have perplexed those who have tried to advise and help me. Whilst I have gone along with a few marketing ideas, what's the worst that could happen anyway, I have never, thankfully, gone all the way. Marketing, it seems, was never for me and may never be so. I will never be rich nor famous, but I have 3 things that are greater. 1. I have enlightenment. 2. I have remained true to that enlightenment. 3. I will never have to follow a marketing script which dictates how a spiritual teacher should act to attract the largest audience. My only interest is in sharing enlightenment. As I whittle down my varied offerings, I continue to welcome your comments and feedback to expedite this process. I invite all criticism that supports my aim to deliver the best, to share enlightenment. All of you who know me know that I do not shrink from criticism, but seek it. So, if there is something that you want to communicate to me but never have, now is your chance. I know that some of you want to meet me and to try out the goods, but that, for various reasons, you have been thwarted. By the time that we meet, I may have arrived at the simplest, most effective way to share enlightenment. Despite the various hurdles that obstruct our paths, I have an intention to meet you. You can either wait patiently or start cutting pathways in the jungle right now. Everyone who does is pleased to find existence more beautiful than they could have ever imagined. I'm now standing at a junction, and you can affect the direction that I take. With each helpful, insightful email, I shave off another part of my teaching, in quotes. I'm taking off so much that it seems that one day there will be nothing left to say. Is that a problem or a blessing in disguise? Life is much larger than words and is never really in the words. I'm going to be experimenting with the old ways from when I first started sharing enlightenment, but in new ways. The old way of meeting in person in the real world has to be translated into meeting online. Already there have been very good results, but more tweaking is required, boiling away the inessentials to get to the essential, the purest transmission of enlightenment. This is a worthy and exciting quest. If you have read till the end of this message, then I know that we are going to meet, somewhere, somehow, sometime. Let's stay in touch and figure something out. Dave Oshana.